Northface Construction, great service from the ground up. Roofing, storm damage and siding. Call the pros at Northface. A hands-on approach, advice and consulting. Our attention to detail makes the difference. Visit online at northfaceconstruction.com. Northface Construction, great service from the ground up.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Northface Construction Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Yaeger, alongside Luke Yaeger.
How's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
Pretty good. Brothers Only Podcast
Brothers
tonight.
Only Podcast tonight. We don't have any special guests, no AP. So make sure to listen till the end of the episode. Should be a good one.
The Birch Brothers control the standings. We control the podcast.
That's right.
We've got what matters here.
Yeah.
Not first and second. Who cares about that?
I don't care.
No.
I don't care. Maybe a little bit.
No, I don't at all. Championships are for losers.
Yeah, true.
That's what they say all
Super
the time.
overrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super overrated.
Yeah.
I would take a Vikings playoff appearance over a championship for sure.
Well, yeah, if you're a true fan.
Yeah, if you're a true fan. Today, we have a ton of content in store. League news, a.k.a. Tank Central.
A lot of tanking happening.
A lot of tanking.
It blew up.
Yeah, it did. Did we call it? You called it. After week 10, you said, this is where everybody's going to start deciding, all right, I'm sticking it out or I'm going to tank.
I can't remember. I might have even been a week off. We might have all been, you might have been 2 weeks early. I might have been 1 week early.
Yeah.
And then it finally,
Yeah, I think you
the
did.
floodgates opened.
I think you thought it was going to start week 10. Start of week 10.
Might have.
Now we're going into week 11 and it seemed like everybody's like, okay, now I know where I'm standing. I need a tank.
Yeah, I don't remember when that episode we predicted it was.
I
But
think it was week 8 because I was like, I think next week people start deciding. And you're like,
Right.
no, I think it's one more after that.
Yeah. Yep, I think you're right.
But now we see it come to fruition. A lot of teams either taking a back seat or making a push for the shotgun. And then we also have League Pick'em Challenge. So we'll talk about which teams we think are going to win. You'd think it'd be easier with all these teams tanking?
This is the hardest week we've had.
Easily.
Hardest week we've had yet.
Easily.
Outside of maybe week 1.
Yeah, true, because we didn't know how people were going to perform yet.
Yeah, and we thought it was easier,
Yeah.
but week 1 was like, what the frick, dude? Nothing went the way we thought it was going to.
It was a weird week 1 this year, though.
Yeah.
Super weird. And then now it's, you'd think, okay, you got all these teams tanking now. You can predict those games at the very least. You have like at least probably a 4-game buffer where you should be getting those right. Wrong.
No.
Every team that's tanking right now is playing another team that's tanking.
-1.
Corn Dog?
Corn dogs.
Yeah. Still projected at 90 points overall, though.
That'll change.
Yeah, it will change. But that is true. So there is one game that you pretty much know for sure, and then outside of that, it's like head-to-heads or
Yeah.
like bottom-of-the-barrel head-to-heads.
I know, it's super fun.
It is fun.
It'll be really fun. Yeah, but so league news is pretty much all trades. We have nothing but trades, and it's going to take us a little while to unpack.
Did we already talk about
Everything.
injuries on Tuesday?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So just trades today. Essentially, Acorn Assassins, Corn Dog, and Bourbon Barrels have all entered tanking season. So Acorn Assassins came out on Tuesday's episode saying that they were tanking.
Yeah, actually, Monday night, he sent a text, fire sale.
Yeah, true. He came out. I think it was a sigh of relief for him. He's tanking. Bourbon Barrels decided to tank after losing last weekend to me
Yep.
because then they were kind of out of it for ranks. And they've pretty much traded away their big assets. Acorn Assassins have traded away their big assets.
And then today, Corn Dog said, well, yesterday when you're listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
on Wednesday, Corn Dog said that they're done. They're waving the flag. Send them all the messages for any trades you want. They haven't made a trade yet, but I'm sure it'll be in the works.
And out of the rest of the teams, I think the only other team that isn't going to make a push, potentially, and I think he might still, is the Lumberjacks.
Oh, make another trade?
They might.
He did make a trade.
No, I'm saying after this week, he might be the only team left that tanks. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he'll ever tank.
I don't think he will either.
Because it'll hit trade deadline next week. So
Yeah.
he's gonna ride it out. He's gonna ride this thing.
Isn't he He's 5-13 right now, or am I off on that? I might be off on that.
He is. Where is he at? He's 8-12.
8-12. Oh yeah, no. So he's fine if he can catch a win this week against Slumlord Co. He's right back in the race, which I would love actually.
That would be crazy. That would bunch everything up.
That would actually help me out though a little bit. Because
for sure.
If it's a tube and everybody's stuck inside of it, I'm on the front end of the tube right now. If you can get a guy out like from the middle a little bit farther back.
To pull somebody back towards you.
Yeah. Well, Lumberjack would kind of just overlap with Slumlord Code then. I mean, I obviously still have to win this week now. And I play the Pawn Feet, which is another team that's could be in contention if they win out.
Yep.
So I need a big win and I need the Lumberjacks to win. But we'll get into that later as well.
Yeah, be super fun.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Bourbon Barrels trades. So they made 2 different trades. So we'll start with both of theirs.
Huge trades, by the way.
Yeah.
Massive trades.
They created a stir in the group chat.
There were some upset citizens.
Yeah. Jealous much?
Yeah, jealousy.
So the Bourbon Barrels and the Sun City Sleepers. Jack's pretty pumped about this.
This is a good one for me.
The Sleepers received Stephon Diggs, and the Bourbon Barrels received Darrington Evans, a 24 first-round pick, and $7.
Yep.
Now, before we get into that, let's move into the next pick or the next trade they made so that we can kind of talk about why both are a little crazy.
Compare them a little bit.
Because the next trade the Bourbon Barrels made was with Slumlord Co. Slumlord Co. received Cooper Kupp and a swap best second-round pick in 2025 with the Barrels. The Barrels received Kevin Harris, a 24 first-round pick, 25 second-round pick, which is swap worst with Slumlord, and $8.
Yeah.
So just to clarify with those swap best, swap worst, Eli has to take whichever record or whichever pick is the worst of the 2 picks. So it's super confusing to say, but essentially, if they have the best, they have to swap it.
Yeah.
If Bourbon Barrels has the worst, they have to swap it.
Right.
So that sounds confusing, but that's what it means is that Bourbon Barrels gets the better of the 2 second-round draft picks.
You know what I think of every time I see swap worst and swap best?
NBA 2K.
Yeah.
Because we could not figure it out for the life of us.
To this day, I'm not 100% certain that I'm right.
I'm saying it confident right now, and I looked it up, and I have zero confidence in that. We know what will happen. Like at least we know what the outcome will happen.
Yes. But in this 2K game that we've played, it's the basketball on, whatever, the PlayStation or Xbox. And there'll be like trade conversation. You'll trade with the computer and it'll be like swap worst first round pick.
And they get the first overall pick and you're like, yes, bring it to me. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait, what just
why do I have the 31st pick in the draft? Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to grade these. We're going to talk about them a little bit. The funny thing about these trades is, in my opinion, I think Diggs is a more promising player for the rest of the season and also going into next season.
I agree.
I think there was a decent amount of people within the group chat that were upset that Cooper Kupp got a better deal than Diggs got.
A better deal Diggs got a better deal. You got the better deal.
I got a better deal. I'm saying like Bourbon Barrels got a better deal with Cooper Kupp than he did with Diggs.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
More of a haul.
More of a haul. But I think they're comparable in a sense, especially for the rest of this season. I think they could finish out similarly. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if I'm taking Cooper Kupp because he was drafted at $47. And Joe had come out and said, I didn't know he was injured at the beginning of the season. I overpaid for him. So he ends up trading him for more value than the guy who has been putting up top 4 numbers for wide receiver.
Well, we said Diggs deserved at least 2. Like we thought 2 first-round picks was low for Diggs.
I said 2. You guys said 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got him for a first and $7, I was like crazy. And then I was like, okay, well that means Cooper Kupp will probably go for a first and a second or a first and a couple bucks.
Yeah.
He went for more.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 and a second-round pick more, not horribly more, but it's like, I think that's crazy to me.
I think everybody expected Cooper Kupp to come in for like, okay, well, now that Diggs goes for a first and 7, Cooper Kupp should be like maybe just a first or maybe just a first and $2 or something like that.
That's what I was expecting. But I think the rest of the league or a lot of the league must have a different opinion on Stephon Diggs' finish. I mean, one, the fact that he has a bye week, that probably affected his cost.
Does hurt. Yep.
A lot of guys probably looked at that and thought,
I know Turf Hoppers felt that way.
For sure. And I think that was your major kind of rival in trying to acquire Diggs.
I think anybody else who's in that trade talk for Diggs didn't fully think about or didn't bring into perspective that Diggs could be a really solid keeper next year for $52.
Yeah, he could still be used.
Yeah. I mean, if he puts up similar numbers next year as this year,
right,
he's worth more than $52.
One fear that people might have is he's upset in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He might force his way out.
He might go somewhere else, and then if he goes to a crap team,
then maybe he's not worth.
Then maybe he's not worth 52.
something. But then you don't use that 52, you spend it elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's the worst case scenario. I think he's great for your push at the end here.
I think so too.
Kupp got a massive boost with the fact that
Stafford's coming back.
Stafford's playing this week.
Yep.
So that'll help him a ton, but I don't know. I really would much rather have Diggs. So let's grade it. For the first pick with you and Bourbon Barrels, where you got Stephon Diggs,
yeah,
and he got a 24 first and $7.
Yep.
I would give you A+.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that I could not have imagined a first round pick.
Yeah,
and only $7.
$7.
I would give Joe a B. I think he did his due diligence. I think he asked her. I mean, he had 6 different guys talking to him, and they all basically just said, no, I don't want him.
Right.
So he got what he could. I guess the grade should maybe it's more like a C because of when he sold.
You think it was just a little too quick?
No, I think he's too late.
Oh.
I think if he had sold a week ago, he gets a haul.
Which is funny because I had hit him up a week ago saying, hey, I'm looking for Diggs, because I kind of assumed that he was tanking at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to avoid, well, what if Diggs does go off? Like, it almost happened, actually.
Yeah.
If Diggs would have put up 25 points, I would have taken 2 losses last week.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then I'm sitting at 8-12, closer to the Lumberjacks, closer to the back of the pipe, instead of the front.
Yep.
And it pretty much changes everything. Can't make a push for the top 4. Probably can't spend money or draft picks on trying to stay in the top 8, because I might still not stay.
Yep.
I think breaking it down, the timing is huge. And I think the reason why Cooper Kupp got more value, strangely enough, is because Slumlord Co. is looking at it like, all right, Diggs is gone. Nobody else has announced that they're tanking yet. Mm-hmm. I need valuable assets moving forward for the rest of the season, just like Jack does, or just like Token does, or just like Avalanche does. So they were like, well, he was probably like, well, now I need to put in a little bit more to get Kupp.
Yeah. And to be fair, I probably don't think the Kupp value is all that far off what I thought it should have been. I think the Diggs is just
lower,
crazy low.
Yeah. So
I would give in the next trade with Slumlord Co. and the Bourbon Barrels, where Slumlord Co. gets Cooper Kupp and the pick swap in the 25 second round.
Yep.
And the Bourbon Barrels get essentially just a 24 first round pick and the pick swap plus $8.
Yeah.
I would give Slumlord, I would probably give him a C+.
Oh, really?
Well, I just think that with the price that Diggs came out for, he probably should have got him a little cheaper than this.
A little bit cheaper.
And then I would give the Bourbon Barrels a B+, because the fact that he did get more Kupp.
More.
He got a little bit more for Kupp than I probably think Kupp was worth, though I said it's close. It's really close.
It is close.
But I would probably say Kupp was like a first rounder and $5 or $6 maybe, and he got 8 and a second.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a B+ on that. Again, I think he just sold 1 week too late. I think he got out of the game just a little too late, and he could have taken in a much bigger haul a week before.
Yeah, I think if he would have sold last week, you're talking about 2 A's for Joe rather than a potential C+, and a B+, A- kind of range.
Yeah.
If I was going to grade him, I would say, yeah, I probably did get an A+ maybe. You know, it probably our biggest trade of the year so far.
Yeah.
And I think it'll probably be the biggest trade of the year, to be honest.
You mean like what do you mean by biggest?
Biggest impact for one team.
Maybe. I would say that the Lumberjacks getting
Tony Pollard, the Tony Pollard trade.
That was the biggest impact, because Pollard has not been impressive.
True.
And everything that Ross got seems to have.
The funny thing about that trade, though, and I know we've touched on it before, but
a lot, yeah.
as impactful as it was, it didn't end up helping Lumberjacks get more wins, though, really.
I think it did. I don't think they would be anywhere near.
So you think they'd be like
a bottom?
You think they'd be like 5 and whatever right now, like 5-win team instead of 8
for sure.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. And I don't think Diggs. I mean, there's potential, but Diggs might not bring me 3 wins. So maybe, yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, I'd give myself an AA+, and I'd probably give Bourbon Barrels. Yeah, like a B-, C+, just because it was a little too late.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the next trade, Slumlord Co., I would give them like a C, and I'd give the Bourbon Barrels a B+.
Okay, yeah. Similar.
So pretty
similar
close.
thoughts.
Maybe a little different, but... And then moving on to the Acorn Assassins, they made a trade with the Big Lake Lumberjacks.
They've made 3 trades.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is this collusion? Are they...
Wait, with who?
Just the Acorn Assassins.
Just in general?
Just
Yeah.
in general, yeah.
They're colluding for sure.
Yeah. Acorn Assassins. So the first trade, Lumberjacks received Ramondre Stevenson and Khalil Herbert, and the Acorn Assassins received Rashawn Johnson, 2025 first-round pick, and $2. Whew. Okay. Should we go through all the trades?
No, I think this one we can go trade by trade. That last one I just thought was important.
They were
because
comparable.
Yep.
Yep. I think everybody knows that Ramondre Stevenson has not shown his value in the slightest so far this year. Up until like last week.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. In the slightest? He's definitely shown it.
Not for 40. How much did he pay for him? 40. Let's see how much he paid for Stevenson. $35.
$35.
Is he a $35 player?
I mean, no, he's been disappointing, but I was gonna say shown his value. Like he's actually had good performances.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Not
I would
in
say
his slightest.
I would say he's disappointing for what he was drafted for. That's fair.
Yeah. So like Ramondre Stevenson, does he get kept for next year? Would you keep Ramondre Stevenson for $39?
No, but I think he helps moving. I think he helps finish the season.
Probably. And then Khalil Herbert's in a similar situation where it's tough to predict his value right now because he's missed so much of the season. But to me, it's funny that Rashawn Johnson was in that mix. I'm surprised Acorn Assassins pulled a player still that like of that caliber. You'd have expected like a Darrington Evans or...
Well, let's take a look at it. What's Roshan actually done? I think he's not really been impressive with Khalil Herbert out.
Yeah, true, because Deontay Foreman has kind of taken over the reins.
Yeah, so
but I bet you Rashawn's been like a 5-point-a-week player.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Whereas guys like a Kevin Harris or a Darrington Evans, those guys are literally just put into place because Yahoo needs a player.
He's not even 5 points.
Oh, really? Okay,
he's only hit over 5 points once since Herbert's been out.
Wow. Okay,
and he hit 5.2.
So
week.
Maybe just like a baby step above the guys that are the other guys that are getting traded, but it's not going to make a huge impact. And I wouldn't even be that surprised if Acorn Assassins don't keep Rashawn Johnson.
No, I don't think so. Maybe just to see what happens, but he's probably a throwaway. If I'm honest, I think this is actually a pretty good trade for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty fair value to get Ramondre and Khalil Herbert, who if Khalil comes back and is a startable asset, then he definitely did great in this trade. A first-round pick, not even this year's or this upcoming. I mean, he didn't have the 24 to offer anymore. But the 25 first-round pick and $2, definitely worth the push.
Yeah.
Where I think it's tough because I don't think he'll crack the top 8.
I don't either.
I think he's setting himself up for failure if he doesn't get that 8th spot.
Yeah.
It is going to be, I feel like it'll be devastating to his next couple of years.
For sure. Do you think at the end of the day, if he takes that 8th spot, it was worth it? All of this was worth it?
No, not all of it. But it wasn't. Yeah, no, not all of it, because I think he'll be in a tough spot next year, and I think he'll probably get relegated after 1 year if he cracks it. But he gives himself the shot. You know what I mean? He gets there.
Which is why we're here.
And yeah,
you're trying to get in that championship league for sure.
Yeah, you want to be in the championship league, but you want to be a contender.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's setting himself up to be a middling team that maybe gets promoted, demoted a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be interesting to see. I think if he stays in the championship league next year after as well, then I'd be like, okay,
that was worth it.
It was worth it
because
you, but that's so far away.
It's far away, and he's low on assets, future assets like picks, auction dollars. Yeah, he's pretty thin,
and I don't think he has keepers.
Does he?
I don't know. His team is gonna be rough next year unless he finds some steals, I think.
Take a quick look at his team.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'll pull him up as well. Because I don't know if he does have any keepers.
Yeah.
So he's got Burrow, I don't know. I can't remember what he drafted Burrow for.
I got it right in front of me. Burrow went for $24. Probably not keeping him at 28.
You might. I don't know.
He's having a push, but it's pretty discouraging knowing that in the last 2 seasons, Joe Burrow has started both pretty low caliber player and then figures it out. But like
he's started slow.
It's tough to make an argument for a guy who doesn't really kick it in until week 5.
What did Keenan Allen? You want to pull up Allen's?
Keenan Allen went for 23.
Okay,
that's probably a keeper.
He could be for sure.
For $28, I'd keep Keenan Allen.
27
or 27. Yeah, I'd keep Keenan
Ayuk.
Allen.
What did Ayuk go for?
Ayuk went for 17.
He's a keeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll. Ayuk's probably a good value. Keenan Allen's probably close to what he would go for.
Yeah.
I think James Cook, Christian Kirk, he's going to keep both of those guys.
James Cook went for 29. Oh,
no, they both went for Cook and
Cook went for 20.
They both went for 20.
20s.
He'll keep both of them. I mean, he's pretty much out of money at that point.
Yeah, you got 4 guys, and unfortunately, out of those 4 guys, none of them are like maybe Keenan Allen. You can make an argument that he's a stud.
Yeah.
Other than that,
he'll keep DeAndre Swift probably. I mean, he'll use all his keeper budget, but he's gonna have like no money at the veteran draft next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tight. DeAndre Swift was $10, which is a great keeper.
Yep.
$14 for DeAndre Swift. I don't think anybody saw that coming at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that'll be really solid. But so looking at it, I think he's set up very poorly for wherever he ends up next year.
Yeah,
and it'll be tough.
What would you grade the trade?
This specific trade, I would give the Lumberjacks for what they're planning. It fits their strategy. I just don't think it's the right strategy, but it fits their strategy. So I'm gonna give him a B+.
I'll give him a B.
And
it's a little bit less than that, but
I'll give Andy I think a B+ as well. Get a first. He got what he deserved, like what it probably should have been.
I'd give Andy an A- because I don't see Ramondre Stevenson as a first-round pick player. I do like your argument that Khalil Herbert coming into the mix. Both of them are probably a first. But I don't know. I just don't. It's so tough to say. I think Andy came out ahead because I wouldn't be surprised if Deontay Foreman maintains the backfield in Chicago. Because
I would be.
He's looked good, man.
I'd be shocked. He's not as good as Khalil Herbert. Herbert's he'll take it back.
What was Khalil Herbert doing before he went out?
I'm not sure. I had him on my team. I'm not fully sure. But Herbert's a much better back.
So Herbert's on the Lumberjacks now, right?
Yep.
All right. So let's just take a quick look and see what he put up in the first, what did he play? The first 3 weeks? And then he got injured?
I think he played more than that.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he only played a few weeks, but I'm pretty sure I had him for...
Khalil Herbert played the first 5 games of the season, put up 9.9, 6.3, 2.5, 20, 7.6. I mean, he's like...
He was competing with Roschon for carries at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll compete as much now. I don't think Roschon has done anything to win more carries.
But I don't think Roschon's the second guy anymore. I think it's going to be Foreman.
Then I think it becomes a 60-40, 70-30 split.
Yeah, so he'll probably get about 15 carries. And if he gets about 15 carries, he's a 10-point player.
At least, yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to change it up. I think they're both about B+ for both now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's where I'll put it for now, and we can revisit it later.
Yeah.
Acorn Assassins and African Token. The Token took Sam Howell,
which was massive for them.
Huge for him.
Massive.
And the Assassins got Myles Gaskin and a 25 first-round pick.
Which is funny because Myles Gaskin is projected to be on the roster this week.
Yeah.
he's going to play this week.
Yep.
I don't think the Acorn Assassins are going to start him, though.
I don't think so. Well, no, they will.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, he's tanking. Anybody who's active where he can get 0 points?
Yeah, but you think Myles Gaskin gets 0? What if Myles Gaskin pulls a weird move and gets a 2-yard touchdown?
Oh, he could, but I doubt it. I mean, I guess pretty much all you have is Ty Chandler right now.
And Guanwo or whatever his name is.
Yeah. In Wangwu or something like that.
Yeah. So I think I wouldn't be shocked if one of those guys on the bottom of the running back roster scores a touchdown and Ty Chandler doesn't.
It could.
Ty Chandler gets all the carries and then
I would be shocked.
I don't know. It's been a weird season.
They've had 1 rushing touchdown. That would be an insane. That'd be so dumb.
Yeah.
It could happen, but I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I think that Sam Howell was huge for Token, so
Massive.
I would give him a B, and I would give the Assassins an A for buying Sam Howell for
flipping for a first.
For a first.
Yeah.
So he bought Sam Howell and Khalil Herbert, and he flipped both of them
to get picks.
He got 2 first-round picks.
Because of
it was because of Ramondre.
Throwing in Ramondre, but also flipping 2 picks to get 2 firsts is pretty good.
Yeah, he did well with that.
Yeah,
really well with that trade. So I'll give him an A on that.
I would give the African Token a B+ just because of their need, maybe even like closer to an A-, maybe like an 89%.
Right.
Just because they needed a quarterback
and
that
Howell's
bad.
Been
and Howell's
good.
been the man.
He's been really good.
And then I would give Andy an A for how he turned it around.
And I know that in the trade talks, the other option that African Token had was a trade with Bourbon Barrels for Lamar.
Oh yeah.
But I actually think Sam Howell is the better player right now.
So do I.
Like, if you had disagreed with me there, I would have made a bet with you that Sam Howell finishes with more points than Lamar.
I would be shocked. I think Lamar is going to have to really turn on the burners because Sam Howell's he puts up 30-point games more often,
and their defense sucks.
Yeah,
he has to perform. He has to put up stats.
Yeah, the Ravens have won multiple games on very low scoring outings,
and other people run it in. They have a great run game.
Gus Edwards, they got Keaton Mitchell, right? Is that his name? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have a run game, and he can run it in too, but for whatever reason, Sam Howell looks like the better option for the remainder of the season. I agree. Yeah, I think.
And he was a buck. He could be a keeper if he's the guy in Washington to start next year.
And Lamar was way too expensive to keep. There's no way he gets kept. I bet you he was like $30 plus.
I really like African Token's choice there.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was able to pit them against each other and get the draft capital down a little bit. So I think it was great by him.
Lamar Jackson would be kept for $30 next year. Just a heads up. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't. I don't think I would either.
Considering Jared Goff went for $4.
It'll be different next year, though.
Yeah, for sure.
But Jared Goff will be interesting.
Jared Goff will probably get kept.
Yeah, which is why some of these prices, Lamar might be worth 30 because if he was still out there, it's going to be really weird. Inflation's going to be crazy, I think.
Yeah, it will be. All right, moving on to the last trade between the Acorn Assassins and the Lumberjacks.
Nope.
Raw Berries.
Raw Berries.
Yep, Acorn Assassins and Raw Berries. Raw Berries received Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, and Damian Pierce. For Acorn, got Michael Carter, Scott Miller, $12, and a 2025 first-round pick, top 8 protected.
Yes.
So if the Raw Berries have a top 8 pick in 2025, the Acorn Assassins get their 2027 first-round pick instead, plus $5 in the 2027 veteran draft.
Right.
So a little confusing, but you want to explain it?
No, I think you did great there. That explained it perfectly. It's fun. I love.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's so fun. Top 8 protected pick swaps.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, when you add extra elements to the trades,
makes it fun.
It makes it interesting.
Yeah. Now we just got to make sure we keep the record.
Yeah.
The one thing that this does is it locks up the Raw Berries 27 pick until the end of the year.
True.
Because he can't trade it because he could possibly owe it to the Acorn Assassins.
True. So he'll have to start trading his 2028.
No, he's already traded that to me.
Oh, so
he has
next
no first-round picks left to trade right now.
Next year he'll get to his 2029 though.
Well, and at the end of this year, if he's in the championship league, which he will be, I would be shocked if he gets relegated.
Yeah.
Absolutely shocked.
Yeah, true.
As soon as he doesn't get relegated, you know that it's not a top 8 pick.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So he can then start trading it in the offseason.
That's true.
But he can't use it for any more trades or before this trade deadline.
So he's a bit limited, but I would also say that where the Raw Berries are at right now, they finally built a team with depth. They finally have some guys who are going to guarantee points in his flex, like Garrett Wilson.
Reynolds and Pierce do nothing, though.
No.
They do nothing for me.
Absolutely not. But would you, yeah, true. And I don't think Garrett Wilson's worth $12 and a first-round pick.
Nope. I don't think so either. I think this is a bit of an overpay.
Yeah. Acorn Assassin's coming out ahead again. But I do think Garrett Wilson, and there's always the speculation. People are saying that Rodgers might be back, week 15?
Yep.
You might get Rodgers for a week.
You might get him for the playoffs.
You might get him for the playoffs. Yeah, and then that adds a value to Garrett Wilson if Rodgers can figure it out. It's not like it's going to hurt his mobility because he doesn't really have mobility anyways. All he's got to do is throw the rock. It's going to be an interesting finish, but if I had to grade it right now, I would say the Raw Berries get like a C and the Acorn Assassins get an A-.
I would give the Assassins. Okay, did I think you would get a first for Wilson?
I didn't.
I didn't.
So.
I would give the Assassins an A here.
Yeah.
And I would give the Rawberries a B- because I think it's an overpay, but I almost think he needed to overpay to keep himself with a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
that's
with where he's at, he needed to. And I think it's I already said it. Overpay, but had to happen.
I just think the dwindling possibility in the back of my head is this a situation with a better record, but he's going to be in a similar spot as the Lumberjacks if he doesn't obtain what he's going for? So I think, let's say he doesn't make the championship league. Let's say one of these guys gets injured. Let's say one of these guys doesn't perform to the caliber that he thinks.
The Rawberries?
Yeah.
If he falls out, I mean, that would be brutal.
What's he at right now? In fourth?
He's in fifth at 13-7.
Okay.
So he would have to fall more than 3 games back because he's got so many points for that. Even if he's 500, which we both kind of think that's going to be right around the.
Yep.
I don't think it'll be better than 500. The top 8.
Yeah.
And so
you're talking about the A spot.
The A spot, I don't think will be better than 500. So he has 3 games to play with. And even if he hits that spot, he'll beat out pretty much anybody there because he already has a 70-point advantage over the next highest scoring guy below him.
Yeah.
So he's going to stay promoted. What he needed to do was give himself a shot to make the playoffs, to get into the playoffs.
And then make a run in the playoffs.
Because if you make the playoffs, you get a little extra bonus.
Yeah.
And some of that money will come back to him. Whereas if he falls back, he'll lose some money, whatever. But at least he has less to lose than the Lumberjacks do. A lot less to lose.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I might give the Rawberries a C+. I just still think there's something about, and we don't really know the extent of what the future looks like, for picks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that if it hurts him in the next 4 years, might not have been worth it. But who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. What's up, guys? This next segment is brought to you by Team Healthcare. Team Health... One more time. What's up, guys? This segment is brought to you by Team Healthcare. Team Healthcare is a multi-specialty clinic specializing in chiropractic, PTs, medical staff, nurses, nurse practitioners, acupuncture, and massage. They are experienced providers in reducing pain, improving the brain, and restoring energy. They brought lower back decompression to Minnesota, and they've used it successfully to treat the backs that others cannot help. Herniated, degenerative, and bulging discs. The home of the Brain Performance Center, treating concussions, ADD, anxiety, and other brain issues. The medical team has a knee protocol that is getting even degenerative conditions back to an active life. To schedule an appointment, you can reach them at 763-323-1492. Again, that's 763-323-1492. Go check out Team Healthcare today. Back to the episode. All right, for anybody who's watching right now, I did text Andy to see if he was trading Devontae Adams. He said, yeah, what's your offer? I've got an offer of a first-round pick and $7, as well as one for a good keeper plus 3. Whoa.
That seems like a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Adams has done nothing.
That's what Diggs went for.
A first and 7?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
If that's the case, I don't want anything to do with it.
No.
But
not worth it at all.
He might be BSing.
He could be.
I think he might be lying.
He's sitting over there with no messages from anybody.
Yeah. He said 3 first right now. What do you got?
He stole his roommate's phone, texted it to himself. Yeah. I've got 2 offers.
Yeah. You want to see him? I have proof.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But it sounds like Devontae Adams might be on the move for a big old check. But we'll see. Moving into our last trade.
Hold on, before we get into the last trade.
Yeah.
If they are true, who do you think they're from?
Well, I would have guessed the Lumberjacks or the Rawberries, but it doesn't sound like they have a lot of first left.
I'm going to guess that it's Unicorn Fart because I think it's Addison.
And $3.
And $3. And I think the other one is Avalanche.
I was going to say Avalanche for the first and 7. I didn't know the good keeper in 3, but that makes sense. But I would not trade Jordan Addison and $3 for Devontae Adams.
I think he's using you as a pawn. I think he wants you to bid it up so he can get them higher.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would ever go with you now.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, what's your offer? Like, nah, I'm good. I ain't no pawn.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's get into the final trade.
Yep.
Most important trade of the week.
This one's massive.
Cannot be overstated.
I don't know if we can use the English language to express how impactful this trade is.
So we'll do it in an alien language.
C+. No, all right. So Lumberjacks receive Will Levis, and the Yorkies receive Aiden O'Connell plus $1. I think you're swapping. Okay, nobody knows what Aiden O'Connell's going to do.
Hopefully nothing. I hope he's just a really, really bad starting quarterback for a team that wins with defense.
Yeah.
And that Devonta Adams never scores a touchdown the rest of the year because O'Connell can't throw any. Basically, the Lumberjacks needed a slightly better backup.
Yeah.
And I needed a slightly worse starter. And so we made the trade.
And you got $1 out of it.
And I got $1. Yeah.
I think...
who cares?
Yeah, it's almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say no grade for these? I don't even know if I want to grade them. It's like, if you're gonna, it would be the vanilla B&B. Because like, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't really help anybody.
A good old B&B.
Yeah, a good old B&B.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the trades. We've unpacked them all. Now we're going to get into League Pick'em Challenge presented by Team Healthcare. Shout out Team Healthcare. With our records currently, I am still in first with an overall of 47-25. Luke is in third.
I'm catching you.
Yeah.
No, did I not pass Ross?
You passed Ross, but got pushed by Avalanche because they went 7-1.
No.
Yeah, so Avalanche is in second. Luke's in third at 45-27. My overall last week was 4-4. His was 5-3.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, I'm holding out. I mean, I honestly, truly, I thought I was going to get surpassed a couple weeks ago because it's been within one. It's been different guys. It's been the Lumberjacks. It's been the Avalanche. You've been right on my tail too. I thought I was probably going to get past, especially with the 4-4 record this week, but holding out. We'll see how it finishes. I think maybe moving forward in future seasons, there should be some sort of reward for winning it.
Oh, we'll put something on.
Yeah, or maybe even this season.
100 auction dollars.
Everybody would be so mad.
No, we'll put something on the line next year.
We'll get into the league pick'ems right now, though. The first matchup that we're going to look at is, kind of an irrelevant one, but also
super relevant, actually.
Pretty relevant to you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely has a factor on draft picks for next year, potentially.
Yep. Oh, it 100% does.
You still have a pretty good lead on Bourbon Barrels, all right? He has 5 wins, you have 2?
Yes.
So you'd have to win this week. You're both not going to
But it's for Barnacles more, not so much for him.
Oh, what are the Barnacles?
They're only 3-17.
Okay.
So I would be tied with him for the worst record if I win this week.
I don't know if it's even worth telling the point totals right now because it doesn't totally matter, but Bourbon Barrels are at 41.67, which I think will change.
Yep.
And then the Old York Yorkies are at 23.79. The only guys that I see potentially scoring, like Kareem Hunt could get a touchdown. Like Kareem Hunt could kind of blow it for the Bourbon Barrels. AJ Dillon could do something. He could get 10 points for him.
I think he has more players that could do something. And the problem is his bench is filled with guys that he probably won't cut.
Yeah.
Some of them he might. I mean, maybe Gibson, he will.
Maybe
But
Gibson.
he has got a lot of guys on bye. He has a lot of guys. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does. But some of these guys could still hold value for him. And he has a 2-game buffer in third right now. So if he wins this one, he stays in third to last. Doesn't change as much for him. He might want to hold him until the end of next week to see if he can get a couple extra bucks for him.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he'll just be like, screw it. I'm not going to get anything. Let's just cut ties with them and get a low score and try to do it. I could 100% see him doing it just to spite me. Just to be like, I just want to see
you win.
Yeah.
So does the rule still apply? I mean, I know it was kind of more of a side bet, but is the goal 30 points?
No.
Okay, so
the goal is as low as possible.
So you're going to try and score like 10 points.
My goal is to score whatever Aiden O'Connell scores.
Okay.
My goal is to have every other player put up zeros.
Okay.
But they all have to be active.
Yep.
So
Iosivas, not currently active.
No, he's injured, but I already have a waiver in for him for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
He plays tomorrow, so I'll drop him. I have a waiver in. Whoever I pick up for him will fill in. So
funny. Yeah, we probably don't have to spend too much time. The other thing I'd like to say is it's good to see my boy Darrington Evans find a roster.
Good for him.
Good to
man.
see him get a start.
It's about time.
It's about time. My man's total for the season. He actually had a couple of decent games. Like he had a rushing touchdown in week 8, 11.5. And then outside of that, he pretty much didn't break 6 points, but it's good to see him on the roster.
Yeah, good. He deserves it.
Yeah,
Deserves a shot.
Yeah, he does.
It'll be actually entertaining to watch these games that are tanking teams.
Yeah.
It'll actually be entertaining to be like, oh, that guy got a touchdown.
Yeah.
That guy never gets a touchdown.
Yeah, true. Like I could see a guy like Bellinger. Maybe he finds the end zone.
Yep.
You know, or
I'm going to be so pissed when my guys score.
Yeah.
So pissed.
I just think Bourbon Barrels have more guys in their current roster that have potential of maybe falling into the end zone.
I think so too. That's why I'm going to pick Bourbon Barrels this week.
Yep. I'm picking the Bourbon Barrels as well. Moving on to our next matchup, we got the Texas Turf Hoppers and the Corn Dog. Again, not a super impactful one because Corn Dog did just throw in the towel.
Yep.
So the current matchups right now, or the current point totals, Turf Hoppers are projected to put up 96.96, and then the Corn Dog are at 90.22, but that'll go down. I think the only thing really to talk about is, are the Turf Hoppers going to beat the median as well as get the win this week?
What's the median projected to be right now?
Currently at like 90, I think.
Yeah, I think they will. I think we have enough teams tanking that they only have to beat a couple.
Yeah.
I think they will. Yeah, this should be a 2-win week for them. Not
Probably.
too much to dive into for this one.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Yeah. The only thing to say is I think McLaurin has a good week. I think McLaurin has a good week against the Giants. And I could see him going past his projection. But other than that, I think they're pretty much safe. I think they'll come out 2-0.
Yeah, I think so too.
Moving on to our next matchup, Unicorn Fart is currently projected at 95.85, and they're playing against the Andover Avalanche at a projected 92.09.
Yeah, this is a big one for both of them.
This is interesting.
All of these matchups this week matter so much.
So much.
Unicorn is currently in third. They had 2 losses last week, which absolutely killed them.
Yep.
Dropped them from second to third.
Yep.
Well, I shouldn't say absolutely killed them. Hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
Dropped them from second to third. If they were to lose again here, they could possibly fall outside of the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Avalanche win 2, they would move up to... No, they're probably still in
12 and 10.
No, well, they're probably still in 6th, but it keeps them in it, right?
In 6th, yeah. They have had a couple. Both teams actually have had like 1 week in the last couple weeks that they just did not perform.
Avalanche have had 2 bad weeks.
2 bad
in a row,
weeks,
I think.
Yeah, but Unicorn Fart put up a season low at 65 last week.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Trevor Lawrence can do. Couple of question marks. Aaron Jones was limited in practice. I think he'll play.
Yep.
Gerald Everett, starting tight end right now, did not practice today.
He has a pretty good option on his bench, though.
Tyler Conklin.
Yep.
Yeah. So it doesn't change that much, but it is about 1.5 points or a point and some change.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings the projections a little bit closer. It's tough. I think, man, I don't know. As of right now, I'm picking the Unicorn Fart because it helps me a little bit more.
I'm picking I think Unicorn Fart has the better team, so I will also go with them. I mean, what Adam Thielen hasn't done as much lately.
Yeah, he's fallen off a little bit, and he's going up against a Dallas defense.
Don't think I see anything happening there.
Dallas defense is ranked 30th overall for toughest or for easiest defense. Technically,
they are
30th for easiest. So like, it's kind of confusing how I'm saying it.
Yes,
30th. So they're
a really good defense to play.
They're the 3rd hardest, or whatever it would be.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So 30th easiest. So they're not an easy defense.
3rd hardest.
Yeah, I said it weird. Yeah. But the way that they have it listed looks kind of weird.
Right.
It's 30th, but it's in red, so you know it's bad.
I love the color.
More of a color guy.
Yeah. What are these numbers?
Yeah.
Numbers are
Just
stupid.
tell me, what's yellow?
Yeah.
Guy on the Avalanche that I think might have a good week, Zay Flowers. Or I should say a good finish to the season. Despite the bye in week 13, he's got pretty good matchups, and he's probably one of the most valuable or one of the most slept on wide receiver ones right now on a team.
He could be. I watched I watched his game last week with them versus Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched much Baltimore this year. He is fast.
He's fast.
He is shifty.
Yeah, he is.
He's fun.
Yeah. That one lies a lot on, is Lamar Jackson going to finish out the season strong?
Yeah.
But
and I think no.
And I don't either, actually. It'll be interesting to see what Trevor Lawrence does this week after coming off of, maybe one of his worst games in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's been about a 17, 18-point guy for the season. Last week he put up 4.1. Now he goes up against Tennessee, which is a pretty tough defense for quarterbacks. If he has a fluke week, I think Avalanche takes it. But I think if Trevor Lawrence can kind of put up one of his better scoring weeks, I think Unicorn Fart has it. So as of right now, I got Unicorn Fart winning.
Me too. I'll give it to Unicorn Fart. Although I think I would rather see the Avalanche win just to see stuff bunch up for that top four, for more drama.
Yeah, I can see your perspective. I'm on the opposite side of that because I'm in the bunch. So I'd rather Avalanche moves a little bit closer to me as opposed to the Unicorn Fart moving down, which doesn't really affect me because even if they lost 2 this week, they'd be 15-7, and I don't think I can catch them anyways.
Yep, I agree.
So taking Unicorn Fart, hopefully more of hopeful thinking. But next matchup we have is the Roided Rawberries at 99.15 and the Lake City Longnecks at 95.80.
Yeah.
Again, no. This is so tough. Is Justin Jefferson playing this week?
I don't know. Was limited in practice.
Designated to return. He's an IRR, but
I don't know. If he does, I wouldn't be shocked if he's limited.
Yeah.
If he's on a bit of a snap count. But super helpful. If he plays, that's huge for the Longnecks.
So what it's saying right now is Jefferson was listed as questionable for Week 10, though head coach Kevin O'Connell all but ruled him out earlier in the week. O'Connell said earlier today that Jefferson is still in the process of being ramped up, and a limited practice session corroborates that.
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't read that word very many times. So if you take Justin Jefferson out of the mix, it looks like they'll be starting Zay Jones or Jonathan Mingo.
Zay Jones is dealing with an injury and a criminal thing, so he won't play.
Oh, not practicing. Oh, okay, interesting. So he'll be playing Jonathan Mingo or KJ Osborne, which KJ Osborne's projection probably will go up higher than 6 as of what it is right now if Jefferson's out. But I'm going to go with the Roided Rawberries, but I'm hoping for a Lake City Longnecks win.
Me too. I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah.
I would love... nothing against Freebie.
No.
Love the guy.
Not personally.
But I have his draft picks.
Yeah.
So the farther he slips, but I don't think it... I mean, with adding Garrett Wilson...
Yep.
And we were talking, I think, off air about how Javonte Williams has been really good lately.
Yeah, he has been good lately. His projection's currently at 12.44, and there's no doubt in my mind that he could easily hit that.
Yeah, Minnesota's been tough lately. Minnesota has been a tough defense, but I agree. I think he could score a touchdown. He could do whatever. It makes that a lot easier to hit.
Yeah. If somebody in Denver is scoring, don't you think it's probably Javonte?
No, Cortland Sutton.
I was going to say you could make an argument for Cortland Sutton, but I think Javonte is just a better all-around player. I think he finds the end zone. I think we beat Denver still, but they have been playing well.
They've been playing really well.
And Russell Wilson looks good.
They've beaten the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yeah. Which the Bills have looked shaky. Even the Chiefs, not shaky, but
still
kind of a weird team this year. Less chemistry, maybe.
We didn't beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, we came close, and that was when our defense was playing bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. That'll be a fun game for actual NFL.
Yeah, true.
That's what I guess that's all I care about now. My team doesn't matter.
Yeah, true. Other than scoring low and not getting touchdowns.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm going Rawberries. You're going Rawberries.
Rawberries.
We'll move on to the next match of the week. We got the Great North Number Punchers versus the African Token. The Great North Number Punchers are projected at 99.65. African Token is projected at 93.84.
Man, the turnaround of Token has been so fun.
They're ahead of me now.
I know.
And there was a time, week 4, week 5, we were like, oh, is that going to be the first tanking team of the season?
Nope, that would be the Yorkies.
So much. Yeah, not so much. Sam Howell was a great addition.
Huge.
Keeps it really close. If he doesn't have Sam Howell and he goes for like a lower level quarterback, I think it's pretty much Great North Number Punchers through and through. But
I'm picking Token.
I'm picking Token too.
No, come on.
I know. I think Jared Goff has a good game against Chicago. I was reading
that's on the number punchers, so that sounds like.
Oh yeah, no. I think Sam Howell's gonna have a good game, but I do think Jared Goff's gonna have a good game against Chicago too. So I think it's gonna be close.
Yep.
The guy that I don't think number punches is gonna have a good game is Deontay Johnson, going up against Cleveland. Questionable. Didn't practice Wednesday. I was reading a lot about guys who. I was reading about guys who you should be trading for, who you should be selling right now, who's not going to have a good week, who's going to have a good week. A lot of analysts were saying Deontay Johnson might not have a great week.
Interesting, just because Cleveland's been a good D. Although they've gotten scored on lately,
That's true. Yeah, they have been getting scored on a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I just think Pittsburgh is... I can't remember what they were saying, whether it was Pittsburgh's a bit of a shaky offense. You can't really predict.
Kenny Pickett's been bad.
Yeah, true.
Pickett has been really bad.
I think the good thing for Deontay Johnson is that George Pickens has been so bad that...
It might just be because Pickett's bad, though.
Yeah.
It really might be that there's just not enough to go around in that system.
Yeah, true.
And which is a bummer because his first week back, Deontay Johnson did great.
Great,
He was awesome.
He looked like a stud.
Which he could do again.
He could.
Who knows? He's got so many players.
Yeah.
He has so many studs.
Yep.
McCaffrey, though, I mean, he started his streak of no touchdowns.
True.
Probably downhill.
It's all downhill from here.
I don't know if he scores another one in his career.
Yeah, too funny. I think McCaffrey comes back a little bit. I think Brian Robinson might have an average game. Travis Kelce should have a good game against Philly.
Robinson's going to dominate. Against the Giants, dude?
Yeah, I know.
He's going to dominate.
Yeah,
McCaffrey's going to play great against Tampa. Kelce.
Man, you're kind of convincing me. I think my heart wants Token to win, so I'm trying to make excuses, but I think I'm just wishful thinking. It's not based on anything, really.
My thought for Token is that I think Tyreek Hill against Vegas could have a massive game.
He could have a massive game.
He could have an absolutely huge game, and Josh Jacobs in that as well could get a lot of catches, a lot of dump-offs, although they'll probably stack the box because what else? They don't have to fear O'Connell.
Yeah, true. Is T. Higgins projected to play this week? Do we know?
No, he's not. He's out.
Okay, so Tyler Boyd is a good addition then.
Mm-hmm.
He should get about 10 points in. I agree with you. Josh Jacobs could have a good game. Tyreek Hill might have another one of those like, dang, Tyreek Hill is him against Las Vegas.
And Keaton Mitchell. Yeah, Keaton Mitchell could be... he looked so good. How do you not give him more carries? It's funny. It's Keaton Mitchell versus Gus Edwards.
Yeah, that is funny.
They're both going to be...
They're going to be competing. Gus Edwards is currently projected at 8.65. Keaton Mitchell's at 5.98.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see both of those. I could see those two swinging. If they swing, that projection is a lot closer.
I think Gus is more touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Mitchell could get a few burst plays and score more than Edwards, but Edwards could also fall into the end zone 3 times, which I don't think Mitchell could do.
Yeah, true.
This one's a total toss-up. I'm going Token because it's fun to pick Token.
Yep. I agree with you. I think it's a total toss-up. I think
you should go number punchers just because you should be rooting for number punchers. You want Bekonzi to lose this.
I do want Bekonzi to lose. Yep, I'm going to go number punchers. Let's go, Nate.
Let's go, Token.
I'm pretty easy to persuade, I guess. But it does make more sense for me to pick number punchers.
Yeah, it does.
Moving on to our next matchup, we got the Big Lake Lumberjacks at 95.73. This is our closest
You're
matchup.
skipping yours. Sleepers versus Pond Feet.
I got sleepers at the top. It changed on me. The order changed on me.
Whoa.
I know.
Interesting.
Yeah, look, it started with the Yorkies and bourbon barrels, and then mine jumped up to the top. All right, we'll talk about sleepers and Pond Feet. This is a fun one. I think the projection's closer than what it's giving right now. I'm currently favored at 63%, but my total is projected at 99.75, and the Pond Feet's total is projected at 86.19. One of the biggest hits that I'm taking this week is not being able to hit Madison, because I think he's a floor. Like if he's healthy and he's playing, he's a 5-point player.
Mm-hmm. And Slayton's not even projected 5.
Yeah, he's not projected 5. He's had a couple good games, but that DeVito kid is trash, bro. He threw for 98 yards last game or something like that.
It's hard to believe that they're gonna start him again.
Yeah, who comes in instead?
Anybody off the street? There's got to be. I mean, Colt McCoy.
DeVito threw for 86 yards in his first NFL start.
Yeah.
So if they bring in a different quarterback, Slayton's probably the number 1 option in New York for passing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saquon Barkley takes the load of productivity or usage, but there was always a possibility that Darius Slayton does get a different quarterback before Sunday and they click. Maybe he gets 8 catches.
I don't think he will.
Probably not.
I think they should. I just don't think they will. If they were going to do that, they would have already signed somebody.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to pull a guy in Saturday and be like, oh, you got no practice time.
True.
Here, play.
Like Josh Dobbs. Except New York isn't playing for anything. If anything, they probably want DeVito to finish out the season, so they keep losing.
You're right.
So,
DeVito's the guy.
Yeah, DeVito's the guy.
the guy.
Yeah, you didn't think, but he's
You're
the
right.
man. The only other guy that I could play is like Treylon Burks, but he's been really disappointing this year, going up against Jacksonville. He's questionable right now. Didn't practice on Wednesday. He might not even play. I got Samaje Perine, who's kind of bounced back a little bit here and there, getting about 5 points, but he's like right in the ballpark of Darius Slayton. It's like a toss-up between those two. I think a couple guys that could play well. Jahmyr Gibbs could go off against Chicago.
Pond feet.
But I'm hoping a big David Montgomery comeback game. I'm hoping he gets like 3 touchdowns against Chicago, so there's just no touchdowns for Jahmyr.
Yeah, that'd be nice for you.
And then Austin Eckler going up against Green Bay. I think that's tough too. Cortland Sutton, you were talking about him going up against Minnesota.
Isn't Green Bay bad?
Yeah. I'm saying Austin Eckler could have a game.
Oh, I thought you said he doesn't do well against Green Bay.
No, I think he does
tough
do well.
For you,
tough
not
for me.
tough for Eckler.
Yeah, I'm very self-focused.
That makes sense. I get it.
Chuba Hubbard goes up against Dallas, currently projected at 8.4.
Again, back to your team.
Yeah, back to my
just
team.
For people who can't see it in front of them.
Right. I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit. The only guy that I think doesn't have a crazy game this week is Geno Smith. I don't think he hits 20 points.
For Pond feet.
Yeah, for Pond feet. I think he hits like 17. Amari Cooper had a good week last week. He's a bit of a boomer bust guy. I'm kind of hoping that he has a bust week. Njoku's nothing crazy special to me.
It's always tough when you have 2 passing options from the same team.
Yep.
It kind of limits both of their upsides. I'm picking sleepers on this one. You adding in Diggs, having Hurts, Lamb, Diggs at the top of your roster and filled in with Andrews, Connor.
Connor is a
James
13.
Conner.
James Conner is a 13-1 guy. I think he gets a touchdown this week against Houston. I think Mark Andrews needs a bounce back game too. Going against Cincinnati, who are the second easiest defense to play against for tight ends. I think Mark Andrews maybe has a tight end kind of day, game.
Yep.
And then Marquise Brown has his second week back with Kyler Murray. Do they connect more than 3 times? I sure hope so.
Yeah.
They're playing against Houston as well. The only guy that's really killing me is Darius Slayton and probably Chuba Hubbard a little bit, but he could hit his projection. I'm going sleepers this week.
Yep, sleepers here too.
And I just really need it. I need this win bad.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do.
And then moving on to our next matchup of the week, we got the Big Lake Lumberjacks at 96.73 against the Slumlord Co. at 95.14. We haven't totally been covering the records a ton. Lumberjacks are currently at 8-12. Slumlord's at 10-10. I'm at 10-10. African Token's at 11-9. A little bit of a point difference in there, but it could swing. They're pretty close.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. This is a huge week for a lot of teams.
And this one between Lumberjacks and Slumlord Co. is projected so close.
So close.
96.7 to 95.1.
Yeah, within about a point and a half.
I mean, the 96.7 is projected Lumberjacks, but honestly, when you're within that, who cares? The point totals are...
It doesn't mean a whole lot. It's anybody's game.
Yep. This one for me is I think Slumlord Co. I think Slumlord Co. has too many good players. I don't love the Lumberjacks lineup. Slumlord Co. has a CJ Stroud, who has been a stud. Mike Evans, he's been great. I mean, he had a drop in the end zone. He could have easily had 30 points last week.
Yep.
Hopkins is looking way better with Levis.
Yep.
Derrick Henry is, I think he's been putting up pretty good numbers, hasn't he?
He had a bad week last week, like a really bad week against Tampa Bay. He put up 2.5.
Ooh, that is rough.
Super bad. But before that, he's been a little up and down. Not a great offense, but he is going up against Jacksonville, who's a middle of the road,
a bad defense.
Yeah, well, they're 18th for running backs.
Okay, they're like a top 5 against wide receivers or something like that.
I see Derrick Henry having a good week though. I see Mixon having that will be a tough one against Baltimore. Yeah, but he's been more consistent than Henry. So I think Mixon gives him 10, Henry gives him potentially anywhere from like 15 to 20.
Adding Cooper Kupp is really what does it for me with Stafford.
Me too. Yep.
Stafford coming back, that's why I think he's better. With the Lumberjacks having to rely, they've got Burrow, Allen, Ayuk as kind of, Swift. Keenan Allen actually didn't practice today. Didn't it might just be a veteran rest.
I was what I was thinking too, but they were even talking in the advice saying he picked up a shoulder injury in the Chargers' Week 10 loss to the Lions. He finished the game, but starts out the week not participating in practice.
I think he'll
Quentin
play.
Johnston would benefit if Allen were to miss any time, but injury reports later in the week will further detail Allen's health.
I think he'll play. I just don't like the Lumberjacks team as much. I don't like James Cook. I don't like Christian Kirk. Metcalf has been super disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't think he turns it around this year.
Yeah.
I just think it's one of those years for him. So I'm going Slumlord Co.
I'm actually going Slumlord Co. as well. That's who I picked beforehand, but I would rather the Big Lake Lumberjacks win.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of these like on the fence ones.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're so close in the projections that it's like, it could go either way.
Yeah.
The league pick'ems, like we said at the beginning, this is probably the toughest week. I agree with you on the players that you said. The other guy that I really hope doesn't have a good week is Trey McBride, because I have a lot of, kind of investment in the Cardinals with James Conner and Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Trey McBride doesn't get a whole lot of points.
You just got to hope that offense is on fire, though.
Yeah.
McBride can move the chains as long as the other two guys fall get into the end zone.
So. I really need a Marquise Brown touchdown this week. I'm taking Slumber Cole as well. And then we'll move into our last matchup of the week.
Another fun tanker
To finish it out. North Sea Barnacles and the Acorn Assassins. Current projections, Barnacles are at 33.75. Acorn Assassins are at 34.77. Well, Acorn Assassins currently have 4 spots empty on their lineup. It's not like it's going to make huge waves when they put guys in there. Like he'll put in Reynolds. He'll put in Boone.
He doesn't have a quarterback in right now.
He
doesn't have a quarterback.
I'm taking Acorn Assassins. As close as the projection is, that's with the North Sea Barnacles having Bryce Young at 15.5.
Mm-hmm.
Acorn Assassins don't have a quarterback, projected at 34.77.
He'll need to get a quarterback, though.
He'll need to get a quarterback and probably trade Devontae Adams or sit him.
He will. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He
won't be playing those guys.
No, he won't play Curtis Samuel. He won't play David Montgomery. It'll probably come back about the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that Barnacles team is so impressively bad. Like, so bad.
It is pretty good. They put up like 21 points or 22 points last week, something like that.
Yeah. The guys that could do something, maybe Jameson Williams could find the end zone against Chicago.
He actually has more players in right now than I would expect him to play.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of think this will change as the week goes on. I think he'll put in Turpin.
He'll put in Hurst probably. Yeah.
He's DeVito. Why is DeVito on is DeVito hurt? Was limited at Wednesday's practice. Maybe DeVito is out. No, he'll play. I'm sure he'll play.
I hope he doesn't.
But I would be shocked if he doesn't put DeVito in. Unless he's trying to hit that 30-point thing. Like maybe him and the Assassins have a 30-point bet that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But I think it'll change.
As of right now, with the lack of evidence that we have, I'm going to go Acorn Assassins, but this one is more of a toss-up than any other because Andy doesn't even have a roster technically right now.
No.
All the guys that are in for him right now are not going to play.
Yep.
So you could look at it as a completely empty roster, and he's going to fill it with guys like
Nelson Aguilar, Mike Boone.
Who's his quarterback?
He'll play Craig Reynolds. He doesn't have one.
He can't play Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is injured. He needs to find a quarterback.
Who knew that Acorn Assassins were somehow going to find themselves in a buy situation?
He probably won't buy.
No, he'll pick up from the waiver wire.
And he'll just basically say that there was no quarterbacks available.
Yeah, let's just see.
Which could happen. Did he traded his quarterback though? It'll be interesting to see what the league says about that. If he doesn't play a starting quarterback, if he gets fined for that.
Let's just see. He'll pick up a quarterback. There are quarterbacks available that have points, I'm sure. Available quarterbacks.
There's nobody.
Trubisky?
No. Kenny Pickett starting? There's nobody. He would have to trade for somebody.
Yeah, he'll have to trade for somebody. What week are we in? 11? Oh, no. Yeah, there's nobody who's projected to put up any points this week.
So
he's going to actually have to trade for a quarterback.
Yeah, because I don't think the league would be happy
with
trading it away. Like if he had a guy, he got injured, it's like, okay, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
But trading away the guy you know is your only quarterback,
is AP going to have to give up one of his first round picks to take a terrible quarterback? Not his first.
He won't.
He'll have to probably give up a couple bucks because somebody's going to be like, I don't know, man. Kind of want to keep him. Like 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 a Zach Wilson maybe?
You could maybe get Zach Wilson.
Who's projected at like 13 or something.
From the
Turf Hoppers.
From the Turf Hoppers, yeah.
It'll be interesting. But yeah, he'll find a quarterback, I'm sure, by the start of the week. And I'm taking Acorn Assassins. I think they're gonna lose by winning.
I'll take the I'm gonna take the Barnacles.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting.
I'm gonna take
Our current projected median right now is 94.49.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, it's gonna keep going up because the bottom teams have sold their talent to the top.
Yeah, true.
So the top 8 scores are just gonna get higher and higher.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. That was our league matchup of the week. That actually wraps up our show. Appreciate you guys being here. We are Relegation Fantasy Football on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the Relegation League. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Relegation FFL. Fantasy League Home is linked in the show description. We're on Yahoo Sports. Make sure to check us out. If you're looking for a deeper dive into specifics, send us some questions on Twitter and TikTok. And as always, follow and subscribe for more content. We release content every Tuesday, Thursday. Do we do the tap without AP?
I don't think so. I think that's a Tuesday thing.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday thing.
Yep.
We'll see you later.
Well, no, you can still say "see you later, Relegators." We just don't do the
we don't
breathy.
do the tap.
Yeah, we don't do the ASMR.
Yeah.
Which honestly, when I listen back to it, I hate it.
So
I
funny.
do. I hear it and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
shivers. It's the worst.
It's kind of grody. We might have to change that up going into next season.
Yeah, that might just be an inaugural season thing. We'll see what happens.
We'll keep it fresh, but we'll see you later, Relegators.
See you guys.